Please. I don't know the script. Just say whatever you want. Don't depend on script and mobile. You have to speak from your memory.
Good morning, Toastmasters, Honorable President, and dear guests. I, Evaluator, the sergeant at arms for the 6th chapter meeting of Toastmaster, welcome you to this meeting. Let me explain a few basic rules for the meeting for the benefit of guests and for the Toastmaster. Whenever there is anyone who is speaking online, please make sure that all the noise-making devices like mobile are outside. Whenever control is shifted, please make sure that you clap. We are Toastmasters follow this protocol that the person should shake hands with the person who is shifting the control. With that said, let me introduce our Toastmaster of the day for today, Toastmaster A. Sharma.
Begin to talk about the theme, I would like to have a guest introduction.
Please.
Do we have any guests?
Yes.
Turn the cell phone to silent mode.
Okay. Another rule of the meeting is that we need to silence our phone.
Yes.
Toastmasters is Nagappan. Okay, she's a friend of mine from we go to the same gym, and I always wanted to overcome this fear of mine. So that is I'm here today. In the coming session.
Yeah, I got to know about Toastmasters from my mom. The reason I wanted to join Toastmasters was because I want to improve my speech.
Hello everyone, my name is Yash. I'm a class 12 student and I joined Toastmaster to overcome my stage fear and to increase my vocabulary.
Good evening. Online.
Do we have any online guests?
Online guests. No, it's the repeater guests.
Good evening, Mr. President, distinguished Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. Welcome to another exciting program of fun and learning at the 686th chapter meeting of Toastmasters Club of Pune. I, Tej Sharma, your host for today's meeting. Let me introduce the theme of the meeting. The theme of the meeting is water because on 22nd March we celebrate World Water Day. Water is an inorganic, transparent, tasteless, odorless, and nearly colorless chemical substance, which is the main constituent of the Earth's hydrosphere and the fluids of all known living organisms. Water is vital for all known forms of life, even though it provides no calories or any organic nutrients. Its chemical formula is H2O, which indicates that each of its molecules contains one oxygen molecule and two hydrogen atoms, which are connected by covalent bonds. Let me explain the program for today for the benefit of the guests. We have two sessions. The first half will consist of 4 prepared speeches, which will be based on objectives. These speeches will be later evaluated by senior members who will give their feedback. The second half will be for impromptu speaking, in which you will learn how to think fast and speak off the cuff. Our president is the founder of Toastmasters movement in Pune. He completed 27 years in our movement recently. Professionally, he is a corporate trainer and an economist. He led 5,000 plus Toastmasters across 212 clubs of District 41 as district governor for the year 2013 to 2014. In layman's language, he was the All India head. He has consumed water from 630 cities in 56 countries across all the continents and speaks a dozen languages. His family says his body smells differently when he returns from a trip to Latin America, Europe, USA, or East Asia, and that impact stays for a fortnight or so, and could be attributed to the water used for taking showers in those countries. That is the impact of water on your body. You get a different body fragrance despite using a neutral liquid known as water. Let us welcome past district governor, distinguished Toastmaster Prasad Sir.
Thank you, Tej. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to another meeting of Toastmasters, and this is the first meeting after Gudi Padwa when the government has lifted the restriction of masks. So it is good to see all faces around here, and later on we'll also click a photo with all smiles seen in the photo and not just masks. So it's a welcome move. Let's celebrate, let's rejoice with that. But talking about the theme for today, water. Let me ask you a question. What has been the biggest cause of death in the world so far in the history of the world? What has killed more people than anything else? Drought, okay, one. Floods, okay, yes. So nature has been the biggest killer of mankind. The second biggest killer is man himself, where we have waged wars against different people and killed people in that. But the number of people who have died in wars is far less than the number of people which nature has killed. So while we have philosophy that we should respect nature, nature is our conservator and all that, we should also be rational and understand that the biggest killer of all species on earth is nature, and not most of the dangers are not man-made. People say that if you destroy nature, nature will destroy you. It need not be the case. Even if you don't destroy nature, nature can still destroy you. That has been a fact if you verify with many species who are now extinct. Dinosaurs did not cause any harm. There was no global warming, yet they became extinct. Correct? So that is because nature is the biggest power, and that acts of its own volition. There is no control over that. And if we try to abuse, it will do even more damage. But even if you don't try to abuse, it can still damage. Let's recognize this. That doesn't mean we should waste water. That doesn't mean we should waste resources. But be aware that you are praying to nature or not praying to nature doesn't matter. Just conserving will help to some extent. Abusing will definitely not help you. And be aware that nature can kill any one of us at any time. At one time, we had so much population growing that nature thought of killing some people and brought in the pandemic called COVID. So just think that even these things matter. There can be disasters in waiting. We have to be aware of all those things when we take things for granted. We shouldn't take things for granted. We should conserve nature as much as we can. But that is not a sure formula for success. We have to be aware that anything can happen at any time and not overdo the global warming lobby, which is paid, and the researchers, most of the researchers are paid by some companies for that. There are large number of scientists who are not paid by anyone, not funded by anyone, who say global warming and all that may not happen. How many of you trust the weatherman when you read in the newspaper that today it will rain or it will not rain. Do you trust them for even one day? No. Then why are you trusting weatherman for 100 years, which cannot happen? You don't know whether it will happen for sure. Things will change in 100 years. So don't go too much deeper into prophecies which tell you that this might happen, that might happen. Okay? Just focus on what your goals are, work towards that. I would say, don't abuse nature, be one with nature as much as you can, but still remember it can harm you. With that, I shall hand over the control of the meeting back to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your exceptional opening address. Let me introduce my fellow colleagues who will help me in the control and conduct of this meeting. To maintain order in the meeting, we have someone who is a senior consultant in an internal audit firm. He likes traveling, adores food, and loves playing sports. He also loves any form of art. Let us welcome Persuasion Influence Level 1, Toastmaster Evaluator. To keep track of time, we have someone who is a motivational speaker. Her hobbies are reading and listening to music. When I asked her the question, how do you measure the importance of water in your life? She replied saying that without water, there is no life. She is Strategic Relationships Level 2. Let's welcome our timer, Toastmaster Tamanna. To keep track of the causes of pillars that we use, we have someone who is an educational coach by profession. She is an ambivert. She strongly believes in the process of learning, gaining knowledge, and upgrading our skills with time. Her passion lies in learning the English language and the literature. When I asked the same question, she replied saying that water is the most essential source of life. It is key to survival not in physical sense but also in spiritual essence. Water possesses the power to change the course and change the energy. It is the source of infinite flow, breaking the blockages, bringing inner peace and healing. Let's welcome our counter, Toastmaster Neha. To give us critical feedback of the language that we use and highlight upon the good and not so good usage of the English language, we have someone who is an IIT graduate. He is currently building driverless cars. In his leisure time, he enjoys reading business, finance, and history books. He analyzes financial statements of listed companies and loves to play cricket and football. He is also passionate about health and nutrition. He likes to work out in the gym. He is a foodie with a great appetite and the enthusiasm for traditional cuisine of different geographical locations. When I asked him the same question, he replied saying that water is a lifeline. When the news of cases of water being found on Mars broke out, the euphoria that it created highlights the importance of water in our lives. Let us welcome our language evaluator, Toastmaster Piyush.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good morning. I am Piyush Udhan, the language evaluator for today. I will now introduce the word of the day and idiom of the day. The word of the day is watershed. It has two distinct meanings. The word could either mean an event or period marking a turning point in a situation, or an area of high ground that separates waters flowing to different rivers, basins, or seas. An example of how it can be used in a sentence would be: the massacre at Jallianwala Bagh was a watershed moment that gave a fillip to India's freedom struggle. Another example with the second meaning could be the watershed of the Himalayas does not lie along the line of its highest peaks, as in most mountain ranges, but about 100 miles further north. Toastmaster Neha, would you like to try to make a sentence using this?
Yes, I would like to. May I?
Yeah.
So as watershed means the turning point, my sentence would be when Donald Trump took over Barack Obama. It was a moment of watershed in the American political history.
Excellent, excellent usage. Now, the idiom of the day is take to an activity like a duck to water. It means to learn or adapt to something new very quickly. An example of its use in a sentence could be, after joining Toastmasters Club of Pune, new speakers take to oratorship like a duck to water. Would anyone like to try using it? DTM Nagappan sir? Okay. In Toastmasters, we encourage all the speakers who use the word of the day and idiom of the day by giving them a thumbs up. So in the virtual world, you can give a thumbs up like I have given. I will be noting down the good uses of the English language and the words or phrases which could have been replaced by better alternatives. I will present my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Maybe you can use the audio.
Is it audible now?
Yes, yes, sir.
Mine is connected to speaker.
Can you remove audio?
Yeah, you can repeat it.
No, can you do audio check?
Am I audible to the virtual room?
Louder, louder.
Am I audible to the virtual room?
Yes, yes, Toastmaster page.
Someone else will be observing every single thing that will happen today. Later, that person will give us feedback about the proceedings, the environment, and some general comments. To act as a general evaluator, we have a student of computer applications who likes to learn about new things and write about things he finds interesting. When I asked him about the same question, he replied saying that he seems to realize the importance of water whenever he is thirsty, and for some reason he can't drink water for a long time. Let's welcome our general evaluator, Toastmaster Advait. Why is water so important? Water is ranked the second essential compound in life. Would anyone guess what the first essential compound is?
Oxygen.
Yes, you're all correct. With more than half of your body weight made up of water, which is 75%, you couldn't survive for more than a few days without it. On the other hand, you can survive without food for weeks. Water is used in every single cell of your body. Water is essential as it travels throughout your body by carrying nutrients, oxygen, and waste to and fro from your cells and organs. Water keeps your body cool as part of your body temperature regulating system. Water cushions your joints and protects your tissue and organs from shock and damage. Water also acts as a lubricant for your joints, in your mouth and digestive system in the form of saliva, and in your nose, throat, eyes, and stomach as part of the mucus. Water aids in digestion and the absorption of food, as well as in the removal of waste from your body. Water also plays an important role in maintaining a healthy body weight. Water acts as a centerpiece in each living organism, ranging from the prokaryotes to the eukaryotes. Water plays an important role in the day-to-day activities of humankind. For example, in cooking, in washing clothes, and taking a bath. Now we need to get back to the agenda of the meeting. First half consists of 4 prepared speeches from the Pathways program. Each speech has a specific time limit and certain fixed objectives. That's why we call it as a project. Each project teaches us some aspects of public speaking, such as body language, vocal variety, or persuasive skill. There are many aspects that these speakers will try to develop and excel at. The first speaker will be attempting level 1, project 1 from the leadership development pathway. The project is going to be an icebreaker speech. The purpose of this project is to introduce yourself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. Evaluator for this speech is Toastmaster Nagappan. The time allowed is 4 to 6 minutes, meaning the lighting sequence would be at green at 4 minutes, yellow at 5 minutes, and red at 6 minutes. The buzzer will be shown at 6.5 minutes. The title of the speech is Introduction to Myself. The speaker is a student in ENTC engineering. He is a techie, a chef, and loves to play cricket and is also a trekker. When I asked him about the same question, he replied saying that he measures the importance of water in life as a vital element where he is fully dependent on it for all of his daily tasks, such as from his toothbrush to his coffee, and also in cleaning his surroundings. Let's welcome Toastmaster first.
Hello, good morning, Honorable President, Toastmaster of the day, and my fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. So today, from beginning the speech, so I would enter a quote. To write about your life, first you should live it. It's quoted by Mr. Ernest Hemingway, American novelist. So introduction about myself. My name is Harsh Dharve. So I'm an engineering student. And being a techie person, I like to manage other things like non-technical things like acting in plays, and maintaining a good role in supporting the backstage, not only in the play element but at the back end element. So in technical terms, we call it as front end and back end. If anyone knows it from a website, if you browse on a website, so there are 3 things: that is your front end, back end, and your total full stack. So the back end part has the most I love it, and I am not from a very urban place, so I belong to a rural type place called Solapur, nearby Pune, and my basic education was going on there till my 10th, and afterwards I left my house for Hyderabad for 11th and 12th, and now in Pune completing my graduation degree. So this journey has given me has lot of hurdles and given me a good type of confidence in it to live your life on its own. So not to be dependent on anyone, or I would say not to be what you can say that being a support to anyone. So however the situations are, manage it and go on. So till then I was a scary child of a scary child. Now after the 2 years when I'm staying outside and managing my own stuff, now I'm a up to go person. Like whatever the situation is, then live it and manage it. So now this platform has given me a good opportunity to improve myself. Not only this is my first speech, and there might be some corrections in it. So please manage that. And my ambition for this, for my career is I want to pursue my masters in a good university. I want to go into proper technical research. Apart from my technical knowledge, I want to help. I want to do some other kind of social activities which would be including with my current education scenario to improve the community and help the community in a better way. And my main ambition for this club is to improve my leadership skills and my communication skills also. So handing over to Toastmaster of the day. Thanks.
Don't go from that side. Go from the other side. Someone from that chair. Huh?
Those got over. Yes, sir. Sir, also nothing to submit that document that you prepared. Let's pause for 30 seconds to write feedback for the speaker. The sergeant staff will give you tips.
Someone can use this chair for keeping it.
I will let you know in 30 seconds.
Let's try to move so that people can walk easily from there. Camera. The chair inside. Just move it out. Long time.
The second speaker will be attempting level 1, project 1 from the persistent inference pathway. The project is going to be an icebreaker speech. The purpose of this project is similar to the first speech. Evaluator for this speech is Toastmaster Pune. The time allowed is 4 to 6 minutes, meaning the lighting sequence is as same as the previous speech. The title of the speech is what is in the name. The speaker is a businesswoman and a food blogger by profession. Her hobbies are exploring new cuisines, reading, and to travel. When I asked for the same question, she replied saying that water everywhere, not a doctorate. Let's welcome Toastmasters Sanjay Kabir.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to ask you, what is the name? Well, according to me, everything. For many years, I have struggled with this idea of who I am and how should I describe myself to everyone. And I found
that I'm a person of many qualities and traits. And I'm still exploring my personality, and I'm ready to surprise myself with the new personality traits and qualities and strengths that I will find in myself. As there are many experiences I'm still to have. That being said, I would like to start by introducing myself. Hello everyone, my name is Sanjali Khabia. My name literally means a name of a flower. My name literally means a flower in mythological scriptures. I'm a chartered accountant by education and a businesswoman by profession. I have started and have been handling the business of manufacturing and trading of kids' garments since last 6 years. I would like to say that not pursuing my career in chartered accountancy, even after cracking one of the most toughest exams in the country, was a watershed experience for me, as I decided to choose something I really wanted to do with my career. Please be said it was a safe bet. It wasn't a safe bet, but it wants to be safe. I hail from the food capital of Madhya Pradesh, that is Indore. I have been born and brought up there, and I completed my education there as well. Even as a child, I was very independent and courageous. So much so that even as a 1-year-old, I did not want my mother to name. I wanted to eat on my own. My parents, with my extended family, live in Indore. And my surname Khavya is my father's family name. However, currently I'm living in Pune and since last 2 years with my husband and his family. Hence my second surname, Parma. I would like to say that I adjusted it to this new city like a duck to it. I told you about my background. Now I would like to tell you about my passion. I have but only one passion, food. I would say it is like a God's gift to me. And whenever I decide to cook or eat something, my senses and my taste buds sing. So yes, I would like to tell you that my passion is cooking and eating. Because whenever I decide to make something or cook something, it does not go out of my mind unless and until I'm prepared. I've had a knack for this since my early teens. However, life happened and I did not realize it to be my passion until very recently. Although it is not like that everything I prepare turns out perfectly. Why? Because I have made many mistakes. But with time and perseverance, I have evolved and I have become a self-taught. Although I did not realize that until many people praised me and pushed me to do something with my talent. So here I am. I started my cooking channel on Instagram and YouTube. It is fairly new, but I see great potential in it with perseverance and consistency. It has very slowly become my ambition as well. Also, I like to travel. I have traveled to many places, nationally as well as internationally, as much as 10 countries. And I like to see different cultures. Sorry. I like to see different cultures and the beauty that a place holds. Which cannot be found anywhere else in the world. I am very fond of reading, fiction as well as non-fiction. I have read many books, and my favorite is mythology. Although currently I have been reading some self-help and biographies as well. Lastly, I would like to say that whatever I just said describes me as a person. But what is the most important to me is who do I see myself as? The most important is that how do I present what I see? I see myself above and beyond what anyone else can imagine, what my aspirations are, and the fact that I'm pursuing it relentlessly. I'm someone who's open to change, and I'm ready to grow with that change. Hence, I would say the name, my name, is the most important thing that I have. It belongs to me, and that is how people will recognize me. I thank you all for this opportunity, for listening to me for these last few minutes. I hope you all have a very good day. Thank you so much.
Let's pause for 30 seconds to write feedback for the speaker. Thank you, Taima. The third speaker will be attempting level 1 project 3 from the presentation mastery pathway. The project is going to be researching and presenting. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched speech on any topic. The evaluator for this speech is Toastmaster Kailash. The time allowed is 5 to 7 minutes, meaning the lighting sequence would be green at 5 minutes, yellow at 6 minutes, and red at 7 minutes. The buzzer will be shown at the end of 7.5 minutes. The title of this speech is Regina versus Dudley and Stephens. The speaker is a law student, and she loves reading, writing, and watching cinema. When I asked her the same question, she replied saying that water is very important as it keeps me hydrated and alive. Let's welcome Toastmaster Gargi Saudhary. She's virtual.
You are not audible. You are visible though. Start your audio. No.
Toastmaster Gargi, you are not audible.
Please come. Speakers connected. Okay. Let somebody else say something.
Can somebody else speak
Can somebody else speak?
online?
Online, guys?
Hello, this is mic test.
Yeah, so Piyush is audible.
Galgi is not audible even Zoom meeting. Maybe Galgi, can you check your mic? There is a up arrow near the mic. Choose a device from there.
Do an audio test. Do an audio test. No, you're not audible.
Galgi, one solution is maybe you can try dropping out and then rejoining with computer audio.
We can pause and go ahead with Ravin's speech first. Meanwhile, you get your things figured out. Is it okay? Okay.
The fourth speaker will be attempting level 2 project 3 for the team collaborations pathway. The project is going to be Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define Toastmasters' envision on mentoring. The purpose of this project is also for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. The evaluator for this speech is distinguished Toastmaster Nagappan sir. The time allowed is 5 to 7 minutes, which would mean that the lighting sequence is green at Green at 5 minutes, yellow at 6 minutes, red at 7 minutes, and the buzzer will be shown at the end of 7.5 minutes. The title of the speech is Be Like Water. The speaker is the past president of EFCP. He has been a Toastmaster for 7 years and is currently the CEO of Drink Water Day. He likes to watch YouTube, Netflix, and football. He also loves reading, listening to music, traveling, and practicing meditation. When I asked him about the same question, he replied saying that his father, being a leading expert of water in the bottled water industry, has always taught him the importance of water. He believes that if a person drinks enough water, half the elements in your body can be cured easily. Ailments. He always encourages everyone around him to drink enough water and carry a bottle of water wherever you go. During the hot summers, please give a bottle of water to a poor beggar, which it will mean a lot to them. He is Advanced Communicator Bronze, Advanced Leader Bronze, Leadership Development Proficient, and Engaging Humor Proficient. Let's welcome Toastmaster Nagappan.
Be formless, shapeless, like water. You put it in a cup, it becomes the cup. Put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. You put it in a bottle, it becomes the bottle. Be water, my friend. Who said this?
Does anyone know? Bruce Lee, yes. Mr. President, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests, a very good morning to all. In life, we face certain situations that force us to adjust to that situation. And that situation, you have to be like what? Be it at your workplace or dealing with people, which is somewhat what a mentor-mentee relationship is like. The mentor has to understand how the mentee is. The mentee has to understand how the mentor is. I still remember when I attended my first meeting of Toastmasters 8 years ago. Some of you have already heard this story. Prasad just pushed me on the stage for table talks that day. And I won somehow. I don't know how. But I needed that push. And even after I joined Toastmasters, there was this brief moment of time where, I used to be like, no, I don't want to do this. And I used to still be scared. Although I had paid my fees, I knew that I want to develop myself as a speaker. But then it was DTM Prasad who observed this and he pushed me. Or rather, like how water, when it's on a flat, stable surface, it's not going anywhere. But when it gets a flow and some gravity to pull it, that's when it gets to flow. That's when it gets to find its way around in the world. And that's what DTM Prasad did for me. He pushed me to give speech. He pushed me to complete 10 speeches, 20 speeches. Then he observed that, at one point he observed that my mentor doesn't really have time for me, so he became my mentor later. So I am that kind of person who needs a little bit of a push. I am also a little bit stubborn, hard like ice. I don't want to use. But in the heat of the moment, sometimes I melt so that I can become like water. I have to be a little formless and shapeless in order to find my way around in the world and develop myself. And that is what a mentor can do to a mentee. And that's what a mentee can please do for his mentor, not just to help the mentor develop his skills as a mentor, but you as a mentee also, you are helping yourself improve when you listen to your mentor. It's okay, sometimes you may not agree with your mentor. Your mentor also may not agree with you on certain things. But that's what a place like Toastmaster, where it is a learning environment. There's no report card here to show you that you're failed or succeeded. It's a self-paced thing. And it's for you to understand how you are able to improve yourself. What you can gain from that particular program. Now I will talk about my experience. Now I spoke about my experience as a mentee. I'm going to speak about my experience as a mentor.
I was mentoring a Toastmaster named Ruchika Galani. Now, some of you may already know who she is. She's not continued her journey as a Toastmaster. But even today, I can easily say she is one of the best evaluators in the Pune Toastmaster pattern. I mean, she is that good. Even though she has lost her practice of Toastmasters, if I were to grab her here today and tell her to evaluate my speech, she would do it. I am the best evaluator. I mean, I have so much conviction. But for some reason, she does not like to give speeches. She has impeccable English, so that's not an issue. She has confidence on stage, that is also not an issue. But she has a problem, which is common even with me, that when I'm writing my speech, I have so many ideas running through my mind, and then I write my speech, and it's such a long thing, I don't know how to fit it in wider than. And then I'm stuck. Do I give this speech or no? How do I shorten this speech? Because I feel everything in my speech is important. But that's what you learn in Toastmasters. How to be succinct, short, sweet, to be able to deliver your point within a certain frame of time. So Ruchika used to constantly have this problem, and she used to be stubborn. Like, I had literally met my match. I understood what it is to deal with a stubborn person like me. She wasn't that stubborn. I'm more stubborn, but there were times when I had to put her in the heat of the moment. Like, you have to be able to cross that barrier of I can't do it. So there was this one moment I remember just before the club international speech contest. She was like, Robin, I'm not giving my speech. Like, what? It's half an hour to go, and you're saying you're not giving your speech. No, it's not a good ending, and this and that and this and that. I was like, wait, just calm down. You are going to give your speech, and outside the room, I was like making a practice, and then she was like, I don't like this ending. I don't like this ending. So we figured out a way to improve that ending, and then she became so confident. Wow, this is amazing. And just 2 minutes before the contest started, she was like, okay, I'll give my speech. And had she not, given a speech that day, she wouldn't have won the contest that day. She would have missed out on one of the greatest moments of her life. So when I was able to break that particular ice with her, that men be formless, shapeless like water, and then you'll be able to find your way. You'll be able to adjust to situations in life. So this is what I have learned in my Toastmasters journey. That if you have to improve, you have to be able to adjust to situations. Just let's forget about Toastmasters. Apply it in your life also. You are going to face situations where you feel that you will not be able to adjust, or you may not like certain people who you are working with. You will be able to find a way some way somehow. And like Bruce Lee said, be formless and shapeless like water. Adjust to situations whenever you feel like you can't do something. Just understand. Just remember the words of being formless and shapeless like water. And like Bruce Lee said, water can crash or it can flow. You can fail also, you can succeed also. But what's important is you have to be fluid like water and go through over to the Toastmaster.
So that you can give feedback to the speaker. Timer ending in 30 seconds.
Am I audible?
Yeah. No, focus on.
Thank you, Shaima. The third speaker will be attempting level 1 project 3 from the presentation mastery pathway. The project is going to be researching and presenting. The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic research methods and present a well-organized, well-researched piece on any topic. The evaluator for this speech is going to be Toastmaster Kailash. The timing sequence is as same as the previous speech. The title of the speech is Regina versus Dudley and Stephens. The speaker is a law student. She loves reading, writing, and watching cinema. When I asked her the same question, she replied saying that water is very important as it keeps her hydrated and alive. Let's welcome Toastmaster Gargi Chaudhary.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day. President Prasad Subni, my fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, good morning to you all. Have you ever wondered if a murder has a moral side to it? On 19th May 1884, a ship called Mignonette began its journey from Southampton to Sydney with 4 members on board. Tom Dudley, the captain, Edwin Stephens, the sailor, Edwin Brooks, and a cabin boy among them who was 17 years old named Richard Parker. Now, Parker was an orphan, and this was supposed to be his first long voyage experience. He was inexperienced, amateur, and he joined the 3 men because he wanted to make the most of his youth. Now, the Mignonette took the long South Atlantic road to Australia to avoid the Mediterranean wave. But ironically, when they were 1,300 miles away from the Cape, a wave hit the ship and Mignonette went down. The 4 men escaped to a lifeboat with 2 cans of food and no fresh water. For the first 3 days, they did not eat anything. And on the 4th day, they devoured the food from the cans. After these initial days began the exhausting and tiring search for sea creatures that could be eaten. The men managed to spot a turtle once, and for the next 9 days, they fed on its body, tried eating its bones, and it is said that they even tried drinking its blood, but for the obvious reasons, it was impossible. Unfortunately, the crew could not catch any rainwater, and with no viable source of water, it is believed that they began drinking their own urine. Now, the 3 men were experienced, they were of excellent character, and because Parker was inexperienced, he tried drinking seawater, and because of the contamination, he fell seriously ill. He was ill to a point where the 3 men believed that he slipped into coma. And in this frustrating situation, on the 19th day, Dudley came with an idea of having a lottery, which meant that they should draw lots to decide who among them should die for others to survive on his body and blood. Now, Stephen suggested that because Parker was going to die sooner than any of them, and that he had no family, while other 3 men had wives and children. Brooks protested to this idea, and nor did he like the idea of drawing lots. But despite his suggestions and protests, Dudley and Stephens went on to kill cabin boy Parker with a penknife. And for the next 4 to 5 days, all of them, including Brooks, fed on the boy's body and blood. Now, the 3 men were rescued by a German ship in the days immediately following the days of Parker's killing. And on their arrival in England, a case began before the Queen's Bench against Dudley and Stephens for the charges of murder. And Dudley and Stephens truly believed that they were protected by the customs of the sea because they had committed this crime in an extreme situation. And this case is known as Regina versus Dudley and Stephens. Regina here stands for Elizabeth Regina, which is Queen's name. Now, I would just like to take you all a moment to think about whether this murder was correct, whether it is justified. This case put legal fraternities and legal scholars around the world in a quandary, and rightfully so, because it gave rise to a plethora of questions. Is this murder morally permissible? Was Parker's consent required before killing him? Are human beings vested with the rights to decide which human life matters more than others? in the cases of extremities, and whether survival instinct can justify culpable homicide. Now, Judge Dudley and Stephens were found guilty, and the judge laid down that no man has the right to take another life for self-preservation unless it is for private defense. This case imposed ambiguity, but it also paved the way for what is known as Doctrine of Self-Preservation. Stated simply, Doctrine of Self-Preservation says that you cannot take another life for the preservation of your own unless it is private defense. You can kill someone only if it is required as a private defense tactic. And please notice that there is a difference between defense and preservation. So this was all about the Doctrine of Self-Preservation. And I hope I was able to give you all a brief insight into this legal principle. And I hope I was able to simplify the story. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
We will now wait for 30 seconds so that we can give feedback. Since the speaker is virtual, we can give the feedback on the personal chat. I will let you know.
Post target number.
Let's have the chat.
Sir, whom to message on the chat window?
Is it disable chat?
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Let's have the timers report now.
Harsh took 3 minutes, 8 seconds. Sanjay took 5 minutes, 29 seconds. Ravi took 7 minutes, 9 seconds. And Kailash took 5 minutes, and disqualified.
Let us now cast our votes for the best speaker.
Yeah.
We will now have a break of 5 minutes. Timer, let me know when 5 minutes are.
For the online folks, please send your votes to me by personal message.
To launch polls. Yeah.
It's a strange phenomenon. I'm in the meeting. It still says join now and I cannot edit. No, there's a room which they can use. There are rooms. One of them will be open. I tried joining. Still doesn't work. It just takes me there.
One launch is
But full launch करने वाला edit करता है पहले. I cannot edit.
Maybe you can sign up. Sign up. I think web account will be.
No, I've signed into the same account. I'm in the meeting.
नहीं तुम्हें ह्याच्यातून log out करा. Maybe try logging again.
Meeting बंद हो जाए. I will do that.
Yeah, I think we could
Can someone speak from online?
Hello, this is mic test. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you are audible to me.
I think then I'm not audible to the physical room.
DTM Nagappan sir, am I audible?
Hello.
Yes. Am I audible, sir?
Hello, Nagappan sir, are we audible?
Yes. Can you speak again?
Are we audible? Are we audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, I am audible as well, right?
Yes, sure. Speaking from here, is it? I want to move into the next. Hello. Hello. Can you speak again?
Hello, sir. Are we audible?
Not enough.
Connected.
I can't speak. That I change it. That's right. Hello, can you speak once again?
Hello, sir. Are we audible?
Good morning. Are we audible?
Yes, audible, but not enough. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I can get this one, but it's not so audible. Begin.
Water makes 70% of the earth as well as the human body. There are millions of marine species that are present in this world that reside in water. Like these species, we humans are also dependent on this universal solvent. Our day-to-day activities and industries revolve around water. However, this resource is depleting day by day. The main contributor is we humans due to the mismanagement of this renewable source. Hence, the need of water conservation is quite prominent in today's world. And the term water conservation means it is a practice where we conserve water and try to save as much as water as we can for the future generation. Throughout this meeting, we will understand the importance of water, the term water conservation, and the steps that are required in water conservation. Out of all the water that is present in the world, only 3% is of fresh water. We humans thrive on fresh water as it is the only cleanest water present. However, we are doing the opposite of conserving, but we are exploiting this renewable source. We exploit this source for our own selfish purposes. The rate of water pollution is increasing on an exponential rate. The effluents from the industries are directly discharged into these water bodies, which decreases the dissolved oxygen rate in the water, which could also lead to the death of these marine species. The common phenomenon of floods, cutting down trees, no facilities in storing rainwater, and water pollution plays a prominent role in the scarcity of water. Now it's time for the evaluations. The evaluator will give their written and oral feedback to the speaker at the end of the meeting. But they will also give some feedback in 2 to 3 minutes. The timing sequence is green at 2 minutes, yellow at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red at 3 minutes. The buzzer will be also shown at the end of 3.5 minutes. The first speech by Toastmaster Harsh Dalge will be evaluated by someone who is a software developer by profession and is bracing herself for an MBA. She has joined Toastmasters to level up her leadership and oratory skills. She likes to follow and play various sports such as volleyball, badminton, and karate. She is also a gourmet and likes listening to music. When I asked her the same question, she replied saying that water is priceless. She thinks it's as valuable as the life of 7 billion people on this planet, as no one could survive without water. She is dynamic leadership level 1. Let's welcome Toastmaster Nidhi Rajurkar.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, but you have to speak louder.
Okay, sir. My target speaker for today is Toastmaster Harsh. Firstly, I would like to congratulate Toastmaster Harsh for a wonderful icebreaker speech. Toastmaster Harsh started his speech with a quote by an American novelist, which is a very good way to start the speech. It grabs attention of the audience and also gives an extra information. Icebreaker is meant for introducing himself or herself to the club and club members, which I feel Toastmaster Harsh has done wonderfully. He shared his personal background, he shared his academic background, future aspirations, and his expectations from the club and club members wonderfully and in a planned way. He gave an intro about his work as well, where he explained the branches where there are back-end work, front-end work, and also gave a brief explanation of each of them. Toastmaster Harsh, you were comfortable and confident in your speech delivery. There were some areas where I feel your speech could have put greater effect. You had a very good eye contact, and you can put a little more focus on your voice modulation so that it is interesting to the audience and more interest and it can add more interest to them. and we wanted to know more about you, Toastmaster. You can try by explaining or sharing few incidents, one or two in your icebreaker speech, which would have given a better understanding of your personality. And I will suggest that you use the 4 to 6 minute time slot allotted to you very judiciously, as you'll not get this time again. At the end, I'd like to say that Toastmaster Harsh, it was a very beautiful icebreaker, and your confidence speaks for yourself. In the future speeches, I think you can work on your voice modulation, which will add more interest to your speech. And welcome to the club. Good work and all the best. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
The second speech by Toastmaster Sanjari will be evaluated by someone who I introduced earlier. When I asked him the same question, he replied saying that we Punekars or city dwellers may not value water as we get it in ample quantities on a daily basis. To measure its importance, go and ask a housewife living in a remote village who has to walk several miles before getting a few liters of water. He is Let's try.
For her in her Toastmaster journey.
Can you, is he audible now? Yes, yes. Sir, please continue.
So she started with a question in her speech, which is a good way to start a speech because it grabs attention of the audience. She started with the question, what is in the name? And then began her speech, which was the great part. I found that the speech was well rehearsed. There were very little signs of nervousness. The speech had got adequate number of pauses. So what she was telling was clearly understandable by all the people who are present here in the audience. There were a few recommendations. I would like to give you a couple of recommendations. I thought the speech was very well rehearsed, but there were a couple of times that you looked at your speech while delivering it. So I feel that it could have been avoided by a little practice. At the end, you could have told the objective of you joining Toastmasters, which I thought was missing. Overall, it was a great speech. You mentioned about your career, how you started your business, garment business of kids, your education, your passion for cooking, and how you started your Instagram channel, which mentioned cooking. You mentioned your hobbies like traveling, you like to read books. You also used the word of the day as well as idiom of the day, which is a great start to your Toastmasters journey. And I wish you all the very best and all the best for all the speeches in your Toastmasters career. Thank you so much. And over to the Toastmasters.
The third speech by Toastmaster Gargi will be evaluated by someone who is an IT professional working as an engineer in the company called Six Sense Lights. He likes sketching. When I asked him the same question, he replied saying that water is life without water is not possible. All living species needs water for their survival. Every drop of water counts. We must be careful of how we use water because there are many people who don't have water and it's difficult for them to survive. He is dynamic leadership level 1. Let's welcome Toastmaster Kailash.
Hey, am I audible and visible?
Yes.
All right. Good morning, Mr. President, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guest, and my target speaker, Toastmaster Gargi Chaudhary. So Toastmaster Gargi have given a wonderful storytelling speech today, and there was this critical and I would say a legal message to the story, saying that the killing a person in the case of self perseverance is illegal, while killing a man in a self-defense is completely different part. And she have delivered this particular message in very short and sweet storytelling way. And overall, the speech was wonderful. However, I have three recommendations for Toastmaster Gaki. The first is the audio issue. Initially, she started his speech in his first attempt. There was audio issues. So I would suggest, as a speaker or as a role player, we should always try to test our audio and video prior to the meeting start. We have already allocated 30 minutes of time for that. So we should use that time to test our audio and video. Second recommendations I have for her is uh, in a essay when the essay start the meeting, they clearly point that all the members should put all the noise making devices on silent mode. Well, the Gargi have put their the phone on a silent mode, but it was on the table, and the vibrations were clearly audible in in the Zoom particularly, and it was completely disturbing and were distracting from her speech. So I would suggest, like, if we are putting the phone on the vibration mode, make sure we are keeping in pocket, not on the table near the mic, so that it won't make a sound and won't be audible in the meeting. Third recommendations I have is she was basically looking at different places and was kind of feeling nervous, and I feel like she needed a little bit more practice on the speech. So yeah, so I would the overall the speech and the story was wonderful. And if she work on the given recommendations, she can her speech next would be a little bit better. Uh, yeah, so that's all from my side. Thanks, and over to TMOD.
Someone who has been a Toastmaster for the last 9+ years. He is an IT professional working with a Japanese IT company in Pune. He is interested in personal finance, public speaking, and physical fitness. He recently started Reiki and is a regular follower of TMKFC. When I asked him the same question, he replied saying that water is a resource available to us at free of cost, but the value of the same cannot be estimated. We should understand the importance of water and use the same judiciously so that we will not run out of water. In short, avoid wastage of water and use each drop with utmost care. Let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster Nagappan sir.
Honorable President, Toastmaster of the day, my target speaker and area director, Toastmaster Praveen Chetty, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening to all of you.
Good evening. Good morning.
Sorry. I know Toastmaster always makes us used to that. I think after joining Toastmasters as a watershed moment for all of us, I think a mentor is someone who gives the experience of Toastmaster like a duck to water. So today, the target speaker has taken his experience of Toastmaster mentoring as a topic for his speech. And I would like to go more into that. Because he being a senior and a veteran Toastmaster, I just thought I will use some aspects for evaluation. First one is about more into the purpose of the speech. I think as a purpose wise, I think he introduced the Toastmasters mentoring with his own experience. That's how, initially as a mentee, what was his experience. later on his experience as a mentor. So that way he covered both the aspects of mentor-mentee relationship. So he achieved the purpose. And now I would like to take up some into the structural aspects of the speech. The first one is about the structure of the speech. I think in any speech we need to have opening, body, and conclusion. I could see Toastmaster Ravi. I think he opened the speech with a quote or maybe a poem of Bruce Lee, "Be formless and shapeless like water." That was a very good connection with all the audience here. He recited that and he asked all of us, do you know who said that? Opening was very good actually. In body, he divided that into two aspects. One is about his experience as a mentee and as a mentor. Also, what I could see that I think he also explained the experiences with he put up on a point, for example, needing a push. For that, he gave an example and then he also concluded the point. So that way, we remember the point very well. Whenever you give an example, put a point, give an example, and come back to the point, he did it very well. Body was done well. Also, he concluded effectively by touching upon the poem again. So that way, I could see him taking apart the structure part very well. He also connected it with the audience. Timing also, I could see he spoke for 7 minutes and 4 seconds. This is a very good usage of the time. When it comes to the technical aspects, I just want to tell about, first one is about the body language. I could see in Toastmaster normally, and after we moving to the online, we could see very less and less body language, but today I could see him effectively using even the facial expression. Initially, while reciting, I could see that he did it very well. Even the stage usage also, I could see that I think when he was a mentee, he was speaking here, and when he was a mentor, he moved here. So that way he has done that well. There I would like to give a recommendation because this is a hybrid meeting. Some of them may be attending the meeting online. So further, please ensure that you are in the camera coverage. At some point when you went to the conclusion at this place, you were going out of the camera. That is something which you can do on that. Eye contact, I could see that effective eye contact, stage usage also very well. So overall, I could see that he has done that well. And only thing, these areas of improvement, if you can work on that, it will become much more better. Thank you. With this, I would like to hand it over to the Toastmaster today.
We now have the timers report. Can you tell us who qualifies for the best evaluator?
All of you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kamana. Now we will vote for the best evaluator. I have launched poll for best evaluator online. Let's talk a little bit about the team. Yes,
maybe you can wait for them.
Life without water is not possible. We need clean water so that we can lead a prosperous and a healthy life for ourselves and for the future generation. We need to take steps in water conservation from an individual level to a national level. Our government needs to implement efficient strategies to conserve water. The scientific community needs to come forward and develop some advanced agricultural reforms to save water. The proper planning of cities and promotion of water conservation through advertisements must be done to educate people. On an individual level, we can start opting for buckets rather than showers and tubs. We must not use too much electricity. We must plant more trees and plants because these life forms have the ability to store water. Rainwater harvesting must be made compulsory so that we can benefit from the rain as well. Further, we can save water by turning off the taps when we are washing or brushing our teeth using the same water for our utensils. The other steps in water conservation are to use the right amount of water during laundry. We can use a washing machine when it is fully loaded. You can also use, if you want to, have a shower without a shower. So you can check for leaks and you can repair because you can easily save 10,000 gallons of water. Use a dishwasher rather than washing utensils in a running tap. You can also reduce the indoor water usage by 2% and you can also defrost food in the fridge. These steps will definitely save a lot of water. Now, let's test our ability to think fast and speak impromptu in the table topic session. The table topic master is a graduate in urban planning. She is currently pursuing MBA. Her hobbies are traveling, trekking, and singing. She loves to meet new people and play chess and badminton. She likes to test people and their nerves. When I asked her the same question, she replied saying that water is a basic essential necessity. We cannot survive without it. It is a treasure that needs to be used by.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good morning, Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good morning.
I am your table topics master for today. So let me brief you about this session so that it will be helpful for our guest. The purpose of table topics is to develop the ability to come here and speak on a topic impromptu. You can take 10 seconds or so to think and compose your thoughts. I'm going to invite some Toastmasters and guests to speak on a topic each. To qualify for the voting as a speaker must speak between 1 minute and 2 minutes. The timer will give signals as follows. Green card will be flashed at 1 minute. Yellow at the end of 1.5 minutes. And green and red will be flashed at the end of 2 minutes. There will be grace period of 30 seconds to wrap up, at the end of which the bell will ring. So the first speaker I would like to call upon is distinguished Toastmaster. Distinguished Toastmaster Prasad sir, your question for today is, if you were to celebrate World Water Day with your family and friends, how will you? I repeat, if you were to celebrate World Water Day with your family and friends, how will you?
Good morning, everyone, once again. At one time, when I was a kid, there used to be some program on TV where they used to show what if there is water shortage, what if there is food shortage, and it was a funny, humorous program in which if water really goes out, then they had employed one person in a post office to stick stamps. So he would just sit there with his tongue out, and people will take a stamp, use his tongue, and then paste it on the stamp, on the letter. So that is how crazy things can be if there is no water. And I used to tell my family that if there is no water for 1 week, 1 month, it doesn't matter, I will survive. Because I know the tricks which I learned from such programs, and I give my own thoughts to that. And it doesn't matter even if there is no water, I can survive. And I know some people, when I travel using couch surfing and things like that, I've met people who don't take shower for a long time and they just use perfume and what is the other word for that? Deodorant for living. I had met a girl from Argentina and Turkey who had traveled for 3 months. And I said, where is your baggage? She said, just one carry bag. I said, how do you manage? She said, I don't take shower every day. I don't wash clothes. I just carry 12 bottles of deodorant. And I said, can I sit somewhere else? Because I allotted a seat next to her. So friends, it doesn't matter. You can survive without water. If I were to celebrate a World Water Day with my family, I would request everyone to save water. And at the same time, as I mentioned earlier in my presidential address, I will not be too concerned about that. I'll enjoy. We will all jump into a water pool and have a great bash. And maybe my son loves rainwater dancing, so I'll ask him to do that as he wishes. As long as that water is conserved and recycled again, it doesn't matter. The water can keep coming down like a waterfall at home, but it keeps recycling the same water. You can use something like that. And there must be a filter where that water is clean. So maybe all our family members can take shower and have great fun instead of drinking any other drinks such as tea, coffee, or liquor. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Prasad, sir. Now I would like to call upon our next guest, Jasdeep. Yes, Jasdeep. Yes, Jasdeep, your question for today is, how will you advise people to reduce the wastage of water? I repeat, how will you advise people to reduce the wastage of water? Yes, Jasdeep.
Before I start, this is my first time, so please don't judge. Okay, I have never really said my opinion on this, but if you honestly ask me how to save water, so whenever I used to use the washroom in my school, people used to use tons of water just to wash their hands and used to waste a lot of water. Me and my friends, on the other hand, used to use drops of water to wash our hands and do our other stuff. So the main use of water is not just to waste it, and
Okay. How do you save water?
By storing water, we usually we've never actually come across a situation where we've run out of water because me and my family just save water. We have a daily limit. People can have a daily limit of water. They can set a limit for how much water to use, when they can use, how much water to put to the plants and everything like that. Okay.
Thank you, guest Jasdeep. The next speaker I would like to call up is guest Amruta. Yes, Amruta, your question is, which is your most favorite childhood memory in rain? I repeat, which is your most favorite childhood memory in rain? Yes, Amruta.
Good morning, everyone. I'm super nervous. My favorite childhood memory would be always the first rains after summers, right? It would be really hot in summers. We would eat a lot of ice cream and everything. And suddenly the weather is changing. And when the first shower comes in, me and my brother would be super excited. And we would just be waiting for our school to get over and go outside and just get our clothes dirty in mud and everything. And when we come home, our mom was super sweet. She would never yell at us or anything. She would just come up with the towels and all. So yeah, those were really special memories. I would still love to enjoy those things now that we are older. I would still love to relive those moments with my brother. Yeah, I think that would be amazing memory.
Yeah. There are two ladies who have joined afterwards, probably might not know, Nandini and Sai.
Sai and Nandini. Thank you, guest Amrita. The next speaker I would like to call up would be guest Sai. Good morning, everyone. Guest Sai, your question is, how will you define importance of water in your life? I repeat, how will you define importance of water in your life? Guest Sai.
Okay, so I think it's a very interesting question, but and I think I wouldn't be able to answer it briefly and in proper parts if I have a little more time. For now, I think, as everyone mentioned, it's the most important part of our daily lives, and it's not just now, but it has been like this since the I would say birth of mankind. For me, a lot of people mentioned a few pointers on how water is to be saved. And also Rafi mentioned how he's never come across a situation where there was any shortage of water. So it's a similar case for me also. I have never come across a situation where we had no water for a week or something and had to go without it.
Okay.
Thank you. I think we have a guest Varun in the virtual world, sir, right?
Yeah.
So, the next speaker would be guest Varun.
Yeah, thank you for the
Question for
opportunity.
you is, what are your views on use of water during Holi festival? I repeat, what are your views on use of water during Holi festival? Guest Varun.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Toastmasters. Good morning, President. The topic which I have been given to speak on is my views on the use of water during the Holi festival. So the Holi festival is the festival of colors. I remember right from my childhood that I used to play with my friends, with my family members, with my cousins, with all the colors, with all the water, playing with the water balloons. So it used to be a lot of fun, enthusiasm, and a feeling of affection towards other human beings. So water was an intrinsic part of the festivals where we used to throw water. Yeah, I remember there used to be a lot of water wastage, but it was something special. We know we have water scarcity. So as human beings, we need to be aware about that. What is the, for what purpose are we using the water for our Holi festival? And if there are wastage, how can we reduce the wastage? And if there's some recycled water can be useful, some inventions can brought about in which we do not use drinking water for the Holi festival. Thank you.
Thank you, guest Varun. So I think this concludes the table topic session, which I hope it was as enjoyable for you to participate and witness as it was for me to conduct. Before concluding, I would like to ask Prasad sir to float the polls for voting. All of them. Also, Sergeant at Arms to
The names of all this. Just repeat.
The table topic speakers are Distinguished Toastmaster Prasad sir, guest Jasbir, guest guest Amrita, guest Saeed, and guest Varun. Distinguished Toastmaster Prasad sir, guest Jasbir, guest Amrita, guest Saeed, and guest Varun.
Nagappan.
With this, I hand over the stage to Toastmaster of the day.
Yes,
we are running late, so don't take talking.
It's time now for the language variant to come forward and give his report. Let's welcome Toastmaster Piyush.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day stage. Good morning once again. I will now be presenting my report. The good usage of English language that I noted during the meeting were: Toastmaster of the Day stage used the word euphoria. President DTM Prasad sir used the word prophecy. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Sanjari, used words like self-taught woman, perseverance, above and beyond. Speaker 3, Toastmaster Gargi, used words like amateur, quandary, plethora, culpable homicide. Speaker 4, Toastmaster Rabin, used words like stubborn, self-paced, conviction, heat of the moment. Evaluator 4, DTM Nagappan sir, used words like veteran. Guest Amruta used the phrase relive those moments. Guest Sai used the phrase birth of mankind, and guest Varun used the word intrinsic. Some places where there can be some improvement. So there was a usage, please silent your mobile. Could have been, please put your mobiles on silent. From beginning the speech, it could have been, I would like to begin my speech by quoting XYZ. I would like to take you a moment. I would like you all to think for a moment about certain situation. My target speaker is, it could have been, I will be evaluating the speech of Toastmaster XYZ instead of labeling him or her as a target. XYZ have given a wonderful speech. Could have been, XYZ delivered a wonderful speech. The speakers who used the word of the day and idiom of the day are Speaker 2, Toastmaster Sanjari, She used the word of the day and the idiom of the day. Toastmaster Neha, who used the word of the day, and Evaluator 4, DTM Nagappan sir, who used the word of the day as well as idiom of the day. Let us have a round of applause for them. With this, I conclude my report. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Piyush. Now we will have the R-Counters report. Let's welcome Toastmaster Neha.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
A very good morning to the President, Honorable President, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. We often find ourselves using crutch words or the filler words like you know, and these sounds are kind of meaningless sounds created in a form of when we are searching for the right word to say. Such crutch words distract us and our speech and gives us an impression that we are not very well prepared. Instead, just try pausing for a moment while we straighten out your thoughts. This will help you reduce your thoughts and your reliance over these words, helping you to achieve more clarity and eloquence in your speech. I now will be presenting my report. So as Toastmaster of the day, TM first, TM Harsh, more than 5, TM Sanjari, 4 hours, TM Gargi, 5 hours. Speaking about evaluators, TM Nikki, 5, TM Kailash, 2, TM Kailash, more than 5, TM Ankita, 2, TM Piyush, 1. Moving further, talking about the guests, Jasdeep, more than 5, guest Amruta, more than 5, guest side 4, and guest Varun 5. TM other Toastmasters, Prasad sir, Tamanna ma'am, and Nagappan sir was flawless with no arms, and any unusual pauses or repetitions of words during this meeting. So let us give a round of applause to the Toastmasters. With this, I conclude my report and I hand over the stage to the team that is the Toastmaster of the day, Tej Sharma. Thank you.
Someone was observing the proceedings of the Toastmaster.
Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters and all dear guests, a very good morning once again. The meeting started exactly on time at 10 a.m. Started off. Although he did not have the script, he did make sure to read out all the important rules carefully. I would suggest that if he could have had the script ready a few 10-15 minutes earlier, it would have been good, since the mission is supposed to be read out. And another recommendation to him would be that since a phone was on silent mode and was ringing around here while his address, he could have noticed that and quickly mentioned that you're supposed to put your phones on silent right there. Apart from that, he did a great job distributing the chits, collecting the chits, and also making sure that nobody enters the room while someone is speaking on stage. So, Toastmaster Kailash, you did a great job. Coming to the language evaluator, Toastmaster Piyush, he selected two really appropriate words of the day and idiom of the day, and he explained it properly. He also made sure to explain the thumb rule, and he also gave Toastmasters and guests the opportunity to make usage of that of the word of the day and idiom. And he also gave his concluding message in an appropriate and concise manner. My recommendation here would be not to him, but to the Toastmaster of the day. Since there was this one brief moment right after his initial address that there was a slight issue with his audio. So if the Toastmaster of the day could have quickly just run down the thumbs up rule over there, it would have been better. It could probably be kept in mind next time. Coming to the R counter, the report was concise, well covered, a really good job over there. And also coming to the evaluators, all of them followed the CRC approach and had really appropriate commendations and recommendations as well. My only recommendation here would be to Toastmaster Kailash. The thing was that I felt that his concluding remark could have been more concise, since he was just covering all the things which the speaker had mentioned. So it could have been put into a nutshell, like you covered all the facets of your life and maybe a few examples of that. You didn't really have to mention all of them in a line. But otherwise, all the evaluators did a great job with their evaluation as well. Coming to the table topic master, she explained the purpose and she also covered some interesting topics as well. And most importantly, she gave an opportunity to most of the guests to come on stage and deliver a table talk. Now I will come to the Toastmaster of the day and the timer. The timer had the timing cards visible, make sure that the timing cards are visible to the speakers. And she would also come up to the camera and show the timing cards to the virtual speakers. I just felt that there was a slight coordination error between the TMOD and the timer, because the TMOD or the the TMOD would come on stage and would put out the timing sequence, but it would happen that either the TMOD was actually kind of quick, or the timer wasn't agile enough to show the cards to the people who are sitting in the background. So what could be done here is that the TMOD could be a little bit more considerate of the timer's cards and then go ahead with the timing sequence instead of just going straight away with it. There's also another recommendation for the timer. Maybe the timer could choose a better place to sit, or maybe the arrangement could be better adjusted next time, because the thing is that whenever the timer would stand up to show the timing cards to the virtual speakers, it would happen that the speakers who are sitting right in that line of vision could not see the screen. So maybe the timer could sit behind the camera and display the timer cards from over there, or choose a better place next time, a better arrangement next time. Toastmaster of the day had a really interesting topic, and he covered numerous facts throughout his script. I think he also did a pretty good job introducing all the role players, introducing all the speakers, and had the meeting under control the entire time. My only recommendations here would be that it could have been not just factual, and maybe he would have also included a few stories of how water is conserved, or how water can be really an issue for a lot of people, like getting water and just dealing with it every day. I also felt that since Toastmaster page had included some scientific terms like covalent bonds and prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So yeah, like I'm kind of down here. I've forgotten my 12th standard science. But yeah, if he could have just briefly explained what it was, or avoided some scientific terms, it could have been better. And I will come to some general comments now. Yes, apparently I noticed that the banner which is outside the meeting hall, it had collapsed during the break. So some Toastmasters picked it up. I just feel that if this is happening on a regular basis, maybe you should use some paperweight so that it doesn't fall down. And the contact box at the bottom of the banner is empty. So maybe you could just take a temporary marker, mention the contact numbers of the current VPM and VPPR, and wipe it out when the term is over. Also, for the speakers who were virtual and faced an issue while speaking, Maybe you could do a quick audio check when you enter the meeting room before the meeting starts, so that if there is an issue, it could be sorted off right there. So yes, I believe I've covered everyone, and that is all from my side. Over to you, Toastmaster.
All in all, we must identify water scarcity as a real issue, as it is very dangerous. Further, after identifying it, we must make sure to take the necessary steps to conserve it. There are many things that we can do on a national level as well as on an individual level. So we must come together and conserve water. Now it is the moment of glory for some of us. Let us invite our club's president, distribute.
Just like to launch polls for best role player and best auxiliary role player. Tamanna, have all of them qualified?
Sir, SA spoke for lesser time.
Okay. I'm launching poll for best role player. And maybe later on we'll launch one for. Auxiliary, of course.
Toastmaster of the day, could you announce the names of
the main role players were Toastmaster of the day, Tej, Table Topics Master Ankita, and General Evaluator Advait. And auxiliary role players who have qualified are Timer Tamanna and Language Evaluator Piyush.
So Piyush went overtime.
Piyush went overtime. Then we have to edit that to put Neha Sankla there. I thought Holi went overtime. In auxiliary. Okay, I'll just edit that in a second. And for auxiliary role player, we have Timer Tamanna and our counter Neha Sankla. Two of them are qualified. So while the polls are going on, I would like to seek feedback from guests who are here for the first time. So let's start with Nandini Hazare, right? Just share your brief feedback. What is it that you like? How was the meeting overall? And any other comments within 15 seconds or so?
1 minute. Good morning, everyone. It was the first day I arrived late, but it was a big part. But as much as I attended the meeting for the last 2 hours, it was a great first experience for me. And I've seen a lot of enthusiastic people, and it was one of them. And even the pointers, those small pointers, took care of and we plan to care of great activity. I have never noticed someone, or I even myself haven't picked out these basic points that someone else would. So today I realized that even these small things matter a lot, and if I can correct those in my speech, it can have a greater impact on the listening.
Did you like?
Yeah, I know.
And Sai? Be brief, please. Please hold your applause till all the feedback from everyone is received. Sai? Please be brief, yeah.
Yeah, so that we covered most we used to give the start. I understood, I think there are roles given to everyone and so everyone has an idea of how each role is performed. Yeah.
Did you enjoy?
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Yes, Veer?
Most of the stuff has been already covered. I would just like to conclude by saying that this was pretty knowledgeable. I could learn a lot, and I learned more.
Then we have Yash. Yash, when are you joining us as member? Today?
I'm thinking of joining as a member.
So that is today. Today, as soon as possible. You have been here 3-4 times, so it's time to take decision now.
Hello everyone, my name is Yash. Yes,
did you enjoy
the session for me and
Amrita?
Apart from what everybody said, I really enjoyed it. For me, I was really scared, but then it was scary, but then it was good as well. It was necessary for me, it was necessary for my growth. So it was a very well experience, good experience. Everything was very systematic and on time, even if a little bit
We were on time, okay, not here and there. Like that phrase.
No. I mean, some people were taking too much time, but then others were like managed to make it on time.
So, did you like the meeting?
I did.
Do you think you will be able to benefit if you were to join us?
Yeah.
Any other guests here? No. So, let's move with the polls that we had conducted. Unfortunately, I would like to apologize for this is a lapse on my part. I had gone to watch a cricket match between Gujarat Titans and Delhi Capitals yesterday, and I slept at about 3 a.m. after that because my car was parked right inside and it took a long time to come out. So because of that, I have forgotten the cards for today. So I would give the cards the next time for everyone, but we'll still call everyone here, whoever has won, and shake hands with them and applaud for them, click a photo, and we'll give the certificates to them the next time. Do you have some cards?
No, dummy card.
Okay, dummy cards we need. Thank you. So the best speaker for today goes to Toastmaster Arvind Shetty. The best evaluator, and there is no need to cover the name because this evaluator card also says the same name. This is Dr. Nagappan. The best table topic speaker goes to me. So just I'll shake my hand. Best role player. Your message. Okay, for best role player, main role player, there was a tie between Toastmaster today and General Evaluator. We'll invite both of them and applaud for them. They both come forward. All these dummy cards, just for take a photo, cover with your hand. I like this. It's natural. This becomes artificial. Just cover natural. Just hold the card like this. That's it. Arey yaar. Aise darna guys. And for best auxiliary role player, we have Neha Sankla. Okay, I owe you all these cards the next time. There are some announcements. We have the next meeting on Saturday as usual, which will be 9th of April. Usual evening times, 4:30 to 7:30. So I request all of you to attend that time as well. And those who are interested in joining, decide fast and join. Especially Yash, I'm going to send somebody to your home to collect money from you. And others who are here first time may attend next time and then take a call on that. Okay, but it's okay to decide fast today as well. I attended one such meeting many years ago and joined on the same day, and I have not had any regrets since then. So you can take your decision faster as well. Then we will have one more meeting offline in similar manner, and after that we can have one meeting online. So maybe 9th and 16th will be offline, and then we'll have the meeting on 23rd online. Okay, 23rd or 30th, one of these two. The other thing is we have division contests on 9th, right? In the morning. So division P contests are on 9th September in the morning, 9th April in the morning. You all will get a link on our groups. You can attend that online. These are online presently. And our district conference is on, the elections are on 30th April, 1st, 2nd May. And subsequently, there will be a conference where there will be guest speakers who will turn up and deliver their speeches. There will be speech contests there. Those will be over the weekends of May. Again, that event will be virtual. You can attend these two events online. We are heading to a venue nearby for fellowship after this meeting. You all are welcome to join. We are going to Pankaj Sambar, which is walking distance from this place. Our winners will contribute some amount happily and treat us, as well as we collect monetary contribution from those who have not dressed properly, those who are late, and those whose phones rang. Today, I think nobody's phone rang, right? Did someone?
Someone's phone rang.
Okay, it made noise, right? No noise, that's what we have said. Okay. And those who are dressed in jeans and sports shoes, I see some of you. We will collect some small contribution for snacks over there. And was there any member late here? No, say you are not a member. So you are excluded for this particular round. Okay. But Rabin was late, and I believe some of us were late. Not from the point of view of 10 o'clock for the start, but we should have been here at 9 or 9:15 based on rule. So I too got late. I reached here at about 9:18. So I should pay my contribution of 50 rupees. Okay. I'll pay it to redeem Nagappan, so then give me 50 rupees later. Okay. So we all can contribute to him and we will pay the bill there. Any questions, any comment, anything else that you would like to announce? Even personal moments. If you have planned some function at your home and you want to invite us, we are going to join there. It's post-COVID now for most of us.
To celebrate World Water Day, we can say water and drink beer.
Yeah. Or some other drink, okay? It may not be beer. It could be some other drink that you love. You can do that. Okay, we have Icebreaker Speech delivered by Sanjay, who mentioned that she is a food blogger and a great cook. So I'm waiting someday to be invited at her home for a party.
We are waiting.
Yeah, we all are waiting for that. Or she can cook something and bring it over here for us to eat at one of the meetings. Okay. Okay, we'll adjourn the meeting and continue chit-chatting at the fellowship joint meeting.
Yes, I would like to.
All the guests, please meet DTM Nagappan. He will guide you about Toastmasters program.